liberty and justice for all.
Welcome everybody. I just want to announce we were in executive session. That's why we had started late here. Public comment? All right. First order up is meeting minutes, approval of the March 4th BOS meeting minutes. Did everybody have a chance to review them? Ms. Lisa, did you review them by any chance?
I can.
Okay. Bill, did you have a chance to review them? Oh, good.
No problem.
Okay, so I make a motion to approve the March 4th BOS meeting minutes.
My second.
All those in favor? Aye. Next up, we have the treasurer report. Mr. Wallover.
Good evening. Going into the finances so far this year, we are a little bit ahead year over year from where we were last year in terms of revenue. We're up about $5,000 over last year. That's largely being driven by building permits. We're about 400% from where we were last year at this point in time. So we're right in line with where we should be, on revenues for this time of year. I will mention that, this point of the year is generally a pretty weak point of the year for revenues because we haven't started to do full collections of real estate taxes yet. In terms of notes, I will note that we have started to see some open space revenues come in. Those have been starting to be separated. That account is beginning to grow, slowly but surely. The other thing I will mention is for expenditures, this is our bills so far this year. We're about 14.8% of our budget. And just being 2 months in, you would expect us to be about 16%, so we are slightly under budget. Compared to this time last year, if you look at those figures in the reports, we're vastly over where we were last year, but last year we had a relatively large road supply bill that came in February. So it's not really a good comparison. But the bills have been relatively minor. We've been keeping pretty good control of those this year. That brings me to the bills list for this last month. In total, we had bills that accumulate to $92,095.96, of which $2,820 were prepaid. So I look for the board for a motion to approve the bills list as mentioned.
I make a motion to approve payment in the amount of $92,095.96 to cover the bills for the month of February.
My second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Public safety, Mr. Wallover, would you like to review?
Okay. For the emergency services and public safety reports for this month, we received our monthly report from Trooper Butler over at PA State Police. We had 22 calls for service in Upper Frederick during last month. The majority of those calls were mostly patrol checks. I think we had one accident. It was actually a relatively quiet month for us here in Upper Frederick, a little more so than normal. For Plymouth Ambulance, they created and responded to 23 calls for service in Upper Frederick. 13 of those calls were to threat of living. Next up, we have the fire company's report.
Mr. Kelly.
For the people that don't know me, my name's Doug Kent, I'm the fire chief here, so. Busy month for the fire company. We were at 17 calls for the month of February. Year total, we have 33. As far as volunteering goes, this month was a very busy month for us for volunteering. A lot of admin stuff was going on. We had 1,111 hours of volunteering going on, and a lot of that was training, national certification training classes, fire company meetings, public education events, and administrative duties. The fire company has some events coming up, which we hope everybody could help us out with. We have the Easter sale, the flower sale for the Easter, which is going to be on April 3rd. Let's see, and April 4th. I guess it'll be right out front here. And we also have the firehouse is partnering with St. Luke's Church. They usually do a dinner on Thursday nights for the community. I think it's once a month. They have a dinner over there. They feed a bunch of people. So we stepped up to the plate. We're going to do like a pizza party. We're going to take one of their months for them. And the firehouse is going to get a bunch of pizzas, and the church is going to make some salads and stuff. And we're going to serve these 75, 80 people that normally come, I guess. But once they find out it's pizza, it might be more. So yeah, that's our upcoming events. But right now, I just want to, I know I don't want to drag it out, but right now we have a firefighting 1 class going on at the firehouse. It's county certified, it's pro board certified throughout the country. 5 of our members are attending this class. The Montgomery County Training Facility is giving the class. 5 out of 23 are our members, which is great for young kids to be going to that, and some older men. And we have that going on. We have fire instructor class that Jeff and Jason are attending to become instructors to teach. And then we, as usual, our yearly hazmat refresher class just happened, so we just cleaned that all up. So, and the other one, just one highlight was we had the Cub Scouts at the firehouse, and they were trying to get their merit badge for first aid, and so we had Plymouth ambulance come in, and we all kind of worked together trying to get the Scouts their badge, which was fun, and we bring some goodies and feed us. So, but that's my report.
All right,
Thank you.
I don't think Nate's here. Next, you want to read the fire marshal's report, Aaron?
Yeah, so Nate was planning to make it, but he got called away for an issue. He responded to 3 incidents this last month. One was a dwelling fire. That dwelling fire was down there on Snyder Road. He wanted to make a personal thank you to all the mutual aid companies that came out and helped with that fire. It was a pretty decent fire from his report. He also wanted to let the board know that he applied for an EOC grant with the county. He applied for basically a touch-sensitive whiteboard that lets you do active things up there, so we can stop using the chalkboard with the old lines on it. We also applied for a television to be in our EOC. That way we can put web EOC up where everyone can see it in the room, so we're not, tied to one person's laptop. And will also let us give briefings in the room, if we do have a situation where we need to brief different parties and for different activities. In total, his grant request was about $2,800. He did complete that from us, and he did give confirmation that it was submitted successfully to the county. So that was his report for this month.
It was submitted successfully, doesn't mean it was granted.
Correct.
Okay.
That means he's at least in the room.
Oh, we definitely appreciate everything Norm does. And I do know that was a barn fire, I believe, down there on Snyder Road, so I think we should reach out to him, see what we can do to help out.
You meant Nate, you said Norm.
Back up, Norm staring me in the eyes. So yeah, we'll definitely like to reach out to them and see what we can do to help those folks out down there. All right. Water sewer plant report, new issues, so Miller Services isn't here. There was no issues to report. Everything's operational and is doing good down there, both plants in Ivy and Burke Crossing. So we're good there. Public Works, Aaron, you want to read that one, bud? Review that one?
Our public works has been quite busy this last month. They've been doing swell and ditch work on Yost Road. They've been getting the parks, ready for spring season. They're also starting to get all of the road supplies together for potholes and those kind of repairs. I know there's a ton of them out there. We continue to take those down and make note of those and put those on the list and get repaired as quickly as possible. We've got some edges as well that need to be done. Well, it's been inclement, not recently, but when we have had some of these inclement days where it's just been rainy and nasty, they've been doing a lot of township building maintenance. With the budget this year, we've given them the ability to actually start taking care of some of the internal problems with the building here, and they're starting to do that work already. They have also done a little bit of work on some of the equipment, on the loader and bucket. They patched and redid the skid plates, and on the F-350 that was inspected and serviced for this month as well.
Okay, and then I wanted to touch on, I talked to a couple residents about an issue down on Knifer Road where the yield signs are around that sharp turn. I did reach out to PennDOT. I talked to Don Centerfonte, who's the supervisor over there, and he's gonna be looking into, see what else he can do to help us out here. But there should be weight signs on there and size restrictions already on the road. So he just wants me to verify they're still there, and then he'll reach back out to me and let me know what he can do from there for us. So I didn't forget it, if anybody's watching at home. I did bring that to his attention. All right. Mr.
Now it's
Norm?
Now it's Mark's.
There you go, Buzz.
It's Nate's turn, right?
That's me.
Come on, man.
Read the civil engineer for me.
Okay, so we've updated the engineer's report for the month of March. Sent it out to Aaron to put in your packets. I apologize, definitely later than I normally do. It seems like as soon as things thawed out, we're getting bombarded with coming from all directions. So I apologize for the tardiness. I hope to get them out sooner to you. But as far as updates, I can answer any questions, but the two things I did want to note is Big Road subdivision that is moving forward. We did issue a letter there, had a kind of like a conference call with their engineer to go through the review letters that we prepared. And I anticipate them being at the probably the March BC meeting. They were looking for some direction and wanted to skip a meeting, and then they'll probably come in March. And then the other thing worth noting is Three Dog, the building is up, they're moving forward with that. That's not really, you know, we just monitor, make sure ENS is going on. That really has to do with more with the building code portion of it. But other than that, I can answer any questions that you might have. That's really the extent.
Looks good over there. Mr. Myers is doing a great job. How about John? You have anything on John code enforcement?
Sure.
What do you
Yeah,
got?
I do. So I did get a chance to talk to John. As far as 1847 Perkiomen Road, Vicki, if you've got anything, okay. I don't know, honestly, I think they're on their, I think this lady is on her third attorney, and I don't know that Vicki's been able to get in touch with any one of them. But anyway, so the other thing I did want to bring up is that there was some discussion last meeting about confusion. Was it PICO, was it netted? Actually, John visited the site, took a photo, there's a PICO sticker right on it. And again, he's gonna try to get in touch with them again, but PICO insists that they don't service that location. So, could be a reason why she's not delinquent on her
Yeah.
electric bill is if she's getting electric and they're not even aware of it.
Right, so I stopped by, I sent him that photo. I took a picture of it, we were out and about, so I took a photo,
Right.
and Pico still told me the same thing, we don't service that. But the one I sent John was a video, and you
Yeah.
can actually see, it's digital, you see the numbers run it, so somebody's making that, it sure is making it.
Exactly. 1732 Becker Road. There was a site visit, Mr. Landon was involved with that one as well. And my report from John is he's making progress, he's not done, but he is moving in the right direction. So I guess this probably will fall under the slow but steady category. And then also another site visit, I believe that was even the same day, visit to Yost Road, 2746 Yost Road. And actually the engineer who was handling the grading and the stormwater portion of that visited the site. And it indicated that there are some items that still need to be stabilized, but he has definitely made some progress because the animals are gone. A lot of the grading has been done, and some buildings have been taken down. So there is still additional grading and stabilization that needs to be done, but quite honestly, in his defense, it's a mud mess still. I mean, the snow has melted, but it's still a mud mess. So that is, you know, continually to monitor that and get in touch with the property owner to make sure that they keep going with that. But much of the zoning issues have been resolved. And my understanding from John is all they need to do is pick up and pay for the permit. And I think the zoning portion of it will be done, but they won't be released out of that until the grading and the stormwater aspect of it, which is the grading of a pile of, I think there's some manure and some some soil that needs
The
to be
size of this room.
basically graded in,
Yeah.
take care of that. And if they don't, then we would have to contact the DEP about a manure issue. But hopefully that'll be done, because they definitely do seem to be making progress. And my understanding is they're not even living in the area any longer. So-
No, they're not.
So they're coming down, doing what they need to do, but the heavy lifting, I think, if you will, has been done. Okay?
So I did look at that with him. If you could have Mr. Lopez send me those photos that we took while we were out there. He was gonna want to carry his cell phone, so I didn't have them. But that is the problem there. It's all muddy. We're all out there in muck boots. So you can't go out and grade anything off right now. The concern over the manure pile is, that's legit. That's real.
Yeah.
Like I said, the manure pile's the size of this room, and then you got topsoil next to it. And John's like, why don't you just mix it?
Yeah.
So I think there's some options there for him, but I think he's waiting for the weather to break too. But, yeah, no, that seems to be getting resolved too.
Yeah, okay. And that's all I have at this point.
There's the new addition, 3415 South
South
Station.
Station.
Oh, let me see, I'm sorry. There was something there.
It's all bolded, it almost looks like it just blends with the
Oh,
last item.
is that
The vehicles.
that's the vehicles?
Oh, yeah.
I've taken a boatload of calls over this gentleman here. Evidently, the fire department was involved. I think he was burning tires over there or something, and y'all had to go over there.
Can't do that?
It's a disaster over there. So I did tell John, he's gotta make a site visit over there. We gotta get some type of cleanup done. All the neighbors are furious about it. One guy came in this week telling me how now he has a stormwater issue where water is now running onto his property because of all this. So he's just making the situation worse.
Yeah, I apologize, and thank you. I did miss it, but I do have a note right here, and John actually showed it to me. He's proceeding directly to a violation notice. He already has it in draft form. I saw it probably 2 hours ago now, so that'll probably go out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Friday at the latest, so he's proceeding directly to a violation notice. And I don't want to misspeak, but I think John had said that this is actually kind of like a repeat customer. I think what happened was he had this particular individual had issues elsewhere, moved vehicles.
I think you're conflating two.
Oh, okay.
Not
So,
this guy,
anyway.
that's the other guy.
Yeah.
He's gonna be brought up too, but he's not on the agenda.
The garage burned down and he moved it back,
Yes,
and so.
yeah, he took it, moved to somewhere else,
Yeah.
ends up burning the garage, he comes back and then brings even
Okay,
more
so
stuff
this
with
is-
him.
So I do apologize.
Well, a lot of junk that's
lot of
on that property was at another location in Pennsburg, and they got kicked
Oh,
out
so
of
you know
there.
what we're talking about, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, so,
So, but he's moving, like I said, moving directly to the notice of violation
okay,
to get some action there.
perfect.
Yeah, there's been, I take that, pass by that every morning on the way to work, and there's been cars even parked on Salvage Station to where it's just one lane.
Overnight,
Yeah, it
and
just
you-
exploded, we
especially
went
at
from
night,
0 to
you
1,000
get that.
overnight, yeah. But I had a resident tell me, he actually yelled out, he was taking photos to send to me, and he said, there's people out in the roads telling them not to do it, just keep moving, but, you know, you can't do what we got going on there, so. Ms. Harper, would you like to tell us about the Park and Rec Board?
Sure. So we met twice so far in the new year. We welcome our new members. There's 4 of us. We would like to have 5. So if you or someone you know is interested, please apply and we'll take applications. We elected a new chairperson, surprise, it's me. And we've been discussing some possible park improvements with the help of Aaron getting us grant money, hopefully, for pickleball courts and a basketball court on the campus. We're also kind of brainstorming about different programming throughout the year, such as pairing up with the church to do trunk or treat, maybe next year, not this year, Easter egg hunt, so some events more than just community day. But we do welcome the public's input if you have some ideas about such things. We meet again next week, next Tuesday. Okay.
Thank you.
Aaron, did you want to expand upon the whole grant thing or no?
Nothing.
Okay, that's
You letting cats out of front there, Ms. Harper?
too late.
All right, moving right along
Nothing from the
to,
Central Park, they didn't meet.
yeah, Central Perk Valley, Aaron, do you want to talk about
So
that?
Central Perk didn't meet, but there was a symposium held yesterday. It was organized by the Delaware Valley Regional Planning Commission, also involved Chester County Planning Commission, Montgomery County Planning Commission, had state senators, people reps, and we talked about data centers all day and what's being done at every municipal level. I learned a lot in those classes, in those symposiums, and those panels. And I think there are some absolute lessons that we can take from those and implement here in Upper Frederick. And while we might not be the first stop for a data center, there are still things that I think we can do as a municipality to make sure that we protect our natural resources here, in the unlikelihood that we do get that kind of application here. We did a similar thing last summer when we looked at our water resources, and you as a board passed the ordinance to basically do a water study when you're gonna do a well greater than 10,000 gallons per day. I think there's an ability to do a similar study for, emissions and particulate matter in the air. That can have a direct health impact on folks living in the community. And then I think we can also, call out particular steps in that kind of development, that make it a little more advantageous for you as a board to be able to have a much better direct impact on those types of developments and be better able to fully, if we were to get one of those applications, you guys would be better armed to, have all the information in front of you and all the studies that are required and all of the steps that need to be done. And so, I'm gonna work with Vicki here probably in the next, over this next month to get some of that in front of you guys here. We're doing zoning as part of the use regulations, and I think some of this can be incorporated in there as well.
Can I add to that? That Perkiomen Regional
You gotta come
Planning,
to, you gotta come up here, pal.
all right.
You gotta tell us who you are.
Oh, yeah, I said my whole life.
Oh, that's right, I'm so sorry.
The Perkiomen Valley Regional Planning Commission is open to the public. It's every third Monday of the month, every other month, so it's this coming Monday. It's at Lower Frederick Township Building, and that's Collegeville, Lower Frederick, Perkiomen Township, Schwanksville, Trapp, Collegeville, and Upper Frederick. So it gives you an idea, like what's going on, not just in Upper Frederick, but the surrounding communities. And you really do understand when you're driving by something, you go, what's going on there? It's pretty insightful, because everybody has a minute to talk about what's going on in their own town. It's pretty good. So it's open. I'm usually the only one there, other than the board members. So, I mean, if you're not doing anything on Mondays, it's pretty interesting.
Appreciate it, Paul, thank you so much. Glad to see you're on your feet.
Thank you.
Nothing adverse happened?
No, I'm good, I
Nothing
think.
took from the anesthesia, you were okay with that?
I'm all right.
All right, good.
Left space.
What do you have?
It's the 16th.
Oh, yeah, so
Open
open space should have
space.
been on your page, it wasn't here.
Open Space Committee did meet, they managed to, I won't say elected a chair, but they elected a co-chair. So that's how we're rolling. Right now, we're working on putting together a handbook, developing criteria for different properties, so we can go through and see how we're gonna get great properties that will be good or nice for pickings to get into open space. And we meet this third Thursday. Right? Yeah.
Okay.
And we're still short a member, if somebody wants to step up.
Okay. Valleys, huh? All right, so new business, we need to, approval for advertising of ordinance 2026-03. But what that is that's the use regulations amendments we made for agriculture. So that's what we had gone over.
They were reviewed at a workshop meeting.
Oh, yeah.
correct?
All right.
This week.
Sat here for a good bit, going over them. How about, anything to add? Ms. Vicki, was there? No?